The story you are about to hear is real. It's been told over and over again for the past 60-plus years. Who would ever believe that Paul and Evelyn Trent, living and working on a farm in Oregon's Willamette Valley, might have had visitors from another planet? It seems so unlikely, especially in a quiet rural area near Dayton, south of McMinnville. In 1950, Americans were enjoying post-war prosperity. The baby boomers were busy making babies, and new housing was springing up across the land. What could possibly happen that would alter that view of reality? It happened in 1950 at a farm 9 miles from McMinnville. Paul Trent took a couple of black and white photos of what appeared to be a UFO, a silver disc hovering in the sky. Those pictures became world famous, but they remain controversial. What the Trents claimed to have seen wasn't just a bright light in the sky. The two black and white photos taken on May 11, 1950, show a physical object, clearly visible and in sharp focus. The object is described as metallic, silver-colored, and shaped like a disc. Evelyn Trent had been out at the rabbit hutch after dinner that night. Coming back to the farmhouse, she saw a strange object in the sky. She called to her husband Paul, and he grabbed his camera and quickly joined her near the house. The Trents told the Oregonian newspaper that the saucer came from the northeast at about 7:45 in the evening. It changed direction and then slipped out of sight. Evelyn Trent said the disc was like a good-sized parachute canopy without the strings, only silvery bright mixed with bronze. There are skeptics, of course. Some of them say the photos are fakes, that they were staged by maybe hanging a hubcap or perhaps a pie plate from the overhanging telephone lines. But Professor William Hartman, a senior scientist at the Tucson Planetary Science Institute, concluded the photos are real. He inspected the original film negatives and researched the case, and his report states that in his opinion, this is one of the few UFO sightings that rings true. Hartman interviewed the Trents and found them to be unassuming farmers who were never paid a dime for their story or for the UFO photos. Another researcher, physicist Bruce Maccabee, investigated the Trent UFO case over a span of more than 40 years. He worked for the Naval Surface Warfare Center, where he examined the two black and white photos of that object over the Trent farm. A number of purported UFO sightings happened in a few short years. The Kenneth Arnold sighting was near Mount Rainier, and the Roswell incident, both of which happened in 1947. Today, we live in an age of cynicism, with computer-generated special effects in almost every movie we watch. But in the early 1950s, American technology was simpler. People were more willing to believe. Even President Harry Truman got into the act. He commented about the flying saucer scare.
Chief of Staff, talk to you or concern you about the unknown and the unidentified flying object?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had with the military, and they never were able to make me a concrete report on.
Do you have anything on the subject, sir?
No, I haven't had anything on the subject, and there's always things like that going on. Flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
Whatever that object was, the 1950 incident near McMinnville, Oregon, leaves a number of intriguing questions. If it was indeed an alien craft, what was it doing over the Northwest? What was its mission? And where did it come from? We may never know. For Ground Zero Radio, I'm Dave Paul.
4, 3, 2, 1. As I was standing looking up one day, enjoying the view across the way, some big bright lights came flying by, a lot of whirling doodads in the sky. It's just imagination, but I saw them just the same. Now this sounds strange to you, I know, but take my word that it's really so. And as I looked up into the air, there were flying saucers everywhere. It's just imagination, but I saw them just the same. Oh, here they come, oh, there they go. It's those doggone